All right, so after this example, I'm going to try to simplify things if I possibly can. So I'm going to hit the plus tab and start a new drawing. So essentially what we're talking about is having information that we can't get from anywhere else and using miter lines and construction lines. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a side view. And let's make this 3 by 3. Perfect. And then I'm going to have a center line, or so I'll put this in the middle here. Something like this. We'll go over 1 inch. And again, come on up. So we've got an off-center hole, all right, and I'm going to change the layers for this so that they are appropriate. So they're on the hidden line layer, and I'll go ahead and create a center line that goes right in the middle here. And again, the center line is there to denote that we have a cylindrical hole. If this hole was square, then there would be no need for a center line. All right, so just to let you guys know, if the hole, which is represented by the red hidden line, is square, no center line needed. If it's cylindrical or round, then we do need a center line. Okay, so the first thing to do is to basically go ahead and set up construction lines. And like I said, one of the easiest ways is just to go ahead and start drawing a line from all of your all the different places or edges that you can think of. So really this is a fairly simple example, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing going up. And again, make sure you're getting all edges, including the center for this one. Because when we take a look at circles, they do have a beginning and an end, or an extreme extent from one side to the other before it starts to curve back. Okay, so now that we've got this information, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the object layer, and I can draw some of this information starting from here. And let's say it was 3 inches by 6 inches. Okay, so let's just do it this way. I'll just go right to the snap. All right, so essentially what I'm trying to do now is I don't have any information for where this would be on this side view or the right view. All right, so if I just kind of do what I need to, and I'm kind of making this up as I as I go along. So what we'll do is we'll start a line, and I'm going to place this line. Well, again, we'll start in the middle. We'll go down, and I think I did 1 inch, right? So we'll do 1 inch and over. And again, this is going to have to be a hidden line type. And again, this is all just to show you the concept of the miter line. So when you have 2 views drawn and you need a third, right? So this is where the miter line comes in. So I'm going to go to my construction, and a lot of people say, well, where exactly do I draw the miter line? And to be honest with you, it doesn't matter too much because it's all kind of based on where your second view is. But basically, some people will start it, from the corner of their front view or their main view, primary view. And I don't like doing that. So I just want to make sure that I am to the left of this view here, and that when I make my line, I end up somewhere over the right part of that particular view. So I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna left click, and I'm gonna turn my ortho off, and I want to extend, make a really big line, and I'm gonna tab over to the angle field and type in 45 degrees, or just 45, and then hit enter. Hitting escape. Right? So basically what happens now is that this miter line almost acts like a prism where it bounces and reflects off to create all the other line work. So that's what we're going to do now, and I'm going to turn my ortho back on. So what I like to do personally is I like to just go ahead and create lines that go past, and then I usually just trim those out later. But this way I'm not, wasting time trying to get it exact. So then I go TR, enter for trim, and then spacebar to select all. And I make my selections, trim all of this out. Perfect. And then I start the line tool one more time. And I basically go from all the intersections. So this is, again, just hitting escape and spacebar to get all of these points to coordinate with one another. And it looks like I have to extend all of these just a hair. And we'll see exactly what happens here. Do a couple more lines. Make sure we're lengthening and not stretching. All right, so now that I've got my guidelines set up, now I can go into the appropriate tab here, or layer rather. And I know that this is the depth. I know that this is the width. So basically it's as easy as just drawing that rectangle out. And I know it's perfectly set up. And then this is actually going to show me where the hole is, right? So when I'm drawing this hole in the top view, guess what? It's going to look like a circle, and I have a center point for that circle. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go right up to that edge, and that is going to be my hole, right? So this is how you're going to get multiple views, any view that's 3 or more, to get missing information. And then when we're done, if we turn off the construction layer, that's what you end up with. You end up with perfectly aligned views. Remember that there's a relationship between this view and this view, meaning the height is the same on here as it is here. There's a relationship between this top view and this front view, meaning the width is the same here and here. And there is a relationship between this top view and the side view, which is the depth, right? So the depth going this way and the depth going this way, vertically over here and horizontally over here. There's a relationship between these two views. So they have to be perfectly aligned. If they're not aligned, someone reading the print or reading the drawing is not going to be able to make heads or tails if things are not things are not matched up. If this hole is a little bit shorter or longer and it's supposed to be representing this hole, well, then that's wrong. And if you have some dimensions on this hole but not on this hole, well, then there's a mismatch, and no one can read the print. And that's going to be the fault of you, the detailer or drafter, the one that's making the decisions. So again, that's a short, quick version on how to use the miter line to help draw missing information.